Network. Up next is SMU and head coach Sonny Dykes. The Mustangs are 2-0. They were in action against North Texas this past Saturday. SMU won the game 49-27. Mustangs are back at Gerald J. Ford Stadium in Dallas on Saturday against Texas State. It will be a 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 Central start on ESPN3. And as we mentioned at the top of the call, Xavier Jones from SMU is the American's Offensive Player of the Week, and Patrick Nelson is the conference's Defensive Player of the Week. Coach, thank you for joining us on the call. If you would just take a minute to tie up the win against North Texas, maybe a few words about Xavier's and Patrick's performances in getting the weekly honors, and your thoughts on the game coming up against Texas State.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, it was good to get a win against a good football team. I have a lot of respect for North Texas and their program, and certainly Mason Fine and their quarterback. And I thought our guys played pretty well and made enough plays to win the game. Thought we got off to a fast start, and certainly that helped us. And felt like we lost our way a little bit in the second quarter, and played better in the second half. So I was encouraged by that. I thought Xavier Jones had a nice game. I felt like we needed to be able to run the football, and I think our offensive line is improving and played better last week. And Xavier had a couple of big runs for us that were a difference in the ball game. And so I thought he played well. I think he's got 6 touchdowns on the year, so he's off to a fast start so far. And then Pat Nelson was really active. Thought he made a lot of plays defensively. Obviously had a big interception. We missed a really good opportunity to kind of separate ourselves a little bit from them. Pat got a turnover, and we got down to the 6-yard line and got a field goal blocked there. Ended up having to kick a field goal and got it blocked, and that was certainly not a good stretch for us, getting the turnover at the 6 and then not scoring on that opportunity. But Pat had a great game, and so thought both those guys are improving week by week, and it's good to see him have some success. Going into Texas State, you look at Texas State. I mean, they're playing really, really good football right now. They had a big lead on Wyoming, and Wyoming had an interception return for a touchdown that kind of changed the game and changed the momentum for them. But I was impressed with the way they played against Texas A&M. I thought they played physical. Thought they played hard. A&M had to earn everything that they got in the game. Really impressed with their talent on defense. They've got a good defensive front, 2 outstanding linebackers, and then a lot of athleticism on the back end. And they're solid in the kicking game, and I think they had almost 450 yards Saturday against a good Wyoming defense. So they're a good football team, and a team that we better play good football to have a chance to win.
Thanks, Coach. We'll take questions for Coach Sonny Dykes, please. Star 1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue. Then the operator will introduce you.
And we'll go to Billy and Buddy with 24/7 Sports.
Morning, Sonny. I wanted to ask you about penalties. You guys just have really cut down on them this year, and just seemed like you guys have just improved discipline. I mean, what was that a focus in fall camp? Was that something that guys are just more comfortable in the systems? What are you seeing?
Yeah, I think it's a product of a couple of things. I think first of all, as you said, I think we're certainly much more disciplined now than we were a year ago. We had 2 penalties that hurt us yesterday. Rodney Clemens, got a taunting penalty that obviously we can't do, and then we had a late hit on the quarterback that could have gone either way. So that was two of the penalties that we had Saturday, and they were both costly, and we can't afford to have them. But we've played pretty clean so far, and I think the second thing is that we're in position, much more than we were. I think when penalties are usually committed because you're out of position or you're just not in a good football position to be able to make a play, whether it's aligning improperly or playing with poor technique or getting fooled, not reading your keys, having your eyes in the wrong place. Whatever it is, that's typically what happens with penalties. And so, I think our guys are playing within our scheme better, and I think we're playing much more disciplined football. And it's, good football teams usually don't have a lot of penalties.
And then on the offensive line, you guys worked in Kobe and Bo more this week. I mean, what is Kadarius Smith okay? What's kind of the I guess shuffling like on the offensive line, and how far do you guys think you are away from having a unit that you guys are pretty happy with?
Well, I think we made some strides, from week 1 to week 2 for sure. I think we just felt like that Kobe was a little bit more comfortable playing guard, and Bo had been a little bit inconsistent in fall camp, but we just felt like that was our best starting 5, and I thought those guys played pretty well on Saturday. It was good to see Bo, play at the level that we think he's capable of playing at. Kadarius will be a guy that plays a lot. Nick Dennis will be somebody that plays a lot as well. So, we'd like to get, a good 7-man rotation going and hopefully bring along a couple of other players that can get in the rotation as well. That's kind of our hope moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have any additional questions for Coach Dykes, please star 1 on your telephone keypad if so.
And we'll go to Ronnie Woodward with Greenville Daily Reflector.
Hey, Coach, just wondering, you've touched on it here, but 3 straight games against teams from Texas, just kind of as an outsider, what are those matchups kind of like in this state, especially when it's non-conference at this part of the season?
I think they're all, the thing about it is, it's a little bit for bragging rights when it comes to recruiting and that type of thing. I think that especially against 2 teams in the Metroplex, when we play TCU a week from Saturday, it'll be 2 games against teams in the DFW area. Number one, it makes sense just from a scheduling standpoint where, it's easy to travel. Those teams can get here. They're good matchups. They're both good football teams. North Texas has been a team that's played for conference championships in their league, and TCU is, a team that's a consistent top 25 program and plays for championships in their league. So, when you look at those teams, it makes sense. Texas State's kind of in the same boat. They're a program that's emerging, under Jake Spavital, and I think it just makes sense to play Texas teams. And so I think, we're fortunate to be able to play some good teams that are good competition and, good competitive ball games that I think is good for our program.
Okay. Thanks, Sonny.
Okay. Thank you.
And next we'll go to Billy Embody with 24/7 Sports.
Hey, Coach, didn't know if you had an update on Delano Robinson and just how he was feeling. I saw he was held out.
Yeah. Delano should be clear to go this week. He probably could have played last week. We just felt like we didn't want to rush him back. And so he'll be 100%. He practiced yesterday and anticipate him, starting the game Saturday.
And then it was, I think, the 4th hottest kickoff all time at SMU. What did I guess the way you guys handled all that say about the work that Kaz has done with the guys, and did you guys do anything, I guess, different to kind of combat it?
Yeah, I think that's first of all, I didn't know that. I knew it was hot. I didn't know it was that hot. I think that's something that's a 365-day a year approach. Really, is just is making sure your guys are taken care of physically in terms of diet, obviously conditioning, just all the things that you have to do to get them to a good place. And we knew it was going to be hot. I think our players did a really good job of hydrating through the week. We tried to talk about it early in the week. I think our players showed a lot of maturity. We had very few cramping issues. And they started hydrating, on Monday and really did a good job, through the week, and did a good job with their food intake and, taking care of fueling the right way. And then, I think the thing that helped us as well is we've got some depth. When you look at our defense especially, we rotated a lot of guys. We played more receivers this week than we did. We have enough quality running backs that we're comfortable playing different running backs as well. So, it's good. It's good to be able to play a bunch of different players, and especially in a game like that when it's that hot.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Coach, thanks so much for giving us some time this morning. We look forward to hearing from you once again next Monday.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.